All right, so I hope you've written a log line down and have asked yourself some questions about it. And now we are going to go through answering those questions. And I'll just show you the answers that I have for my story just to give you an idea of how this works. Because what we are doing here is creating an idea, but slowly expanding it, making it greater. And asking questions is a great way to brainstorm and just make a story seem more plausible, make it seem like something you can actually write. So this is just the building of your idea, adding building blocks to make it really come to life. So for my story, as I said, my logline is a lowly servant boy goes against all odds and saves the hopeless princess trapped in a tower and guarded by a minotaur. So now we are going to ask questions about that story. So who is the servant boy? So I came up with servant boy James. He goes by Jimmy. He is honest and sympathetic. I forgot to leave space here. Where is this servant boy from? The story starts out in the kingdom of Longstock, named after the last name of the king's family that has always reigned in it. The land of this country is very small. There are few inhabitants outside the walls of the kingdom, other than gypsy caravans, small villages, and other travelers. The kingdom is in the bottom of a valley guarded by mountains, which they call the edge of the bowl. No one knows what lay beyond the edge, as no one has ever needed to climb it. The only thing outside the walls that people inhabit is some farmlands. Past the farmlands is the wilderness, followed by the unknown near the mountainside, which leads to the edge, basically. So this is what I've came up with, and as you can see, just from answering this question, as my mind began to creatively wander and I started writing, I came up with a setting just like that. So hopefully you can see yourself doing the same thing when you are answering your questions. So why is he a servant boy? Jimmy is an orphan who lost his parents when he was young. No one knows how they died. Jimmy has served as a slave servant to the king ever since. And I wanted to leave this kind of ominous, he doesn't know how they died, because then maybe that will come up somewhere in the story and that will be kind of a twist in the story or something that can serve as a side plot. So what are the odds that Jimmy has to go against, or what are the stakes? Jimmy's life is on the line. It wasn't his choice to save the princess. He was forced to attempt a rescue mission by the king after knights never returned. So this is just my idea right now. And again, as I've said, you can always have your questions your answers be changed, and always change things as you go. But this is just how you start building your idea up. Moving forward, how is he going against them, or how is he going against these odds? People mock Jimmy when he's chosen, as he is small and unfit for such a journey. How does he save her? I don't know the answer to that question yet, so I just left it blank. Where does he save her? Along the edge of the bowl where the Forbidden Tower lies. Since I kind of described that this edge of the bowl, or this mountain range, that is the circumference of this entire kingdom, I decided that since nobody climbs that and it's kind of unknown territory, that would be a great spot for him to have to traverse to. Next, who is the princess? Princess Camilla, beautiful and loving. I didn't really have much else to say about her as of right now. Does he know this princess? Jimmy will know her and possibly see her early on in the story before she's taken. So maybe they're friends, or maybe he just sees her passing by, or maybe because he's a servant boy, he's not even worthy of talking to her and he's just seen her before. Was he sent to save this princess? Yes, by King Longstock. Where is this tower? Along the edge of the bowl. Is this tower significant? Again, did not know the answer. Who is this minotaur? This minotaur will be hired by the king, who will turn out to be corrupt. So this king, I had the idea of the king being the one that sends his daughter away or gets her kidnapped. So that will be the twist in the story. And again, I just kind of came up with this on the fly while I was writing and answering my questions. How big is this minotaur? The minotaur will be large and fierce in size. Minotaurs are foreign creatures to the land, thought to be extinct. So that was just another detail I thought of. Did the minotaur take the princess? Yes, the minotaur was hired to kidnap her. Is the minotaur hired to guard the tower? Yes. And where is this minotaur from? I did not know what to answer to that. So that is basically answering all of my questions. And now if I take all this information and maybe write a paragraph or two, which I don't have to, I could just use the information here, I could have a fully fleshed out idea that is a few paragraphs long that explains the entire story. And I could honestly probably rewrite my logline if I needed to. If that makes it easier for you to understand, you could rewrite your logline to incorporate some of these details or make it fit better. Again, just keep your logline to 1 sentence, 2 sentences max. You don't need to explain every detail in there. You just need to have a premise, your character, and your theme in there. So if your premise, character, or theme has changed slightly because of answering your questions, then obviously you can make your logline fit better. But this is all the brainstorming to start building out your idea and making it truly come to life, making it expand, making it bigger. So now we can understand what this story idea is all about, and we are ready to start outlining. So now that you've seen how I've answered my questions, go ahead and answer all of your questions. Try to fill out some different details, be creative with it, just write things in. If you think of things that don't even have to do with your questions, just answer them anyway, because that is going to be beneficial to understanding your story anyway. So that is everything you're going to need in order to start building out your story idea and really prepare for outlining. Once you've done this, we're ready to start outlining.